If you love meatloaf, then you are not going to want to miss this video. Hey friends, it's Kelly and welcome back to Mama Needs a Goal. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome. So friends, today I am making the ultimate meatloaf casserole. Yep. Meatloaf casserole. I cannot wait to make this. I am going to make it today and take some for lunch and take some for my friend as well. So I am so excited. So let's go ahead, go over all the ingredients, and then we'll get started. Alrighty, so here is the ingredients for our meatloaf casserole. I have a pound of ground beef, steak sauce, Worcestershire sauce, 1 egg. I have onion soup mix. I use a half a pack of onion soup mix instead of a bunch of different seasonings. I find this gives the meatloaf an absolutely delicious taste. I do not use breadcrumbs. I use cheese instead. I just put a little bit of cheese in there just to cut the carbs out, but you can use breadcrumbs if you want. And then we have like our topping that we put on it with the mashed potatoes. So I have salt and pepper, unsalted butter. I have some green onion chopped up. I have 3 of them. I'll add a little bit of that in the potatoes and also top the potatoes. I have the Idahoan butter home style mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes that I'm using. You can use homemade if you want. Not a problem at all, but why go through that trouble? I have some Mexican style blend cheese. You can use cheddar cheese if you want. I just use the Mexican cheese for everything, but cheddar cheese is fine. Bacon bits and some sour cream. So that is all the ingredients we'll be using today. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I have my pound of ground beef here. I have my packet of Lipton onion soup mix, and as you can see, it's already open because I only use half a packet for my meatloaf. You dip that in there, dip it in there, you throw that in there, and then we're going to use a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and make sure you shake it really well. I've already done that. And then I'm doing a little more than a tablespoon of steak sauce, 1 egg, wash my hands. Alrighty, I'm going to wash my hands before I put it in this cheese. And then I'm just doing a little less than about 3/4 of a cup of cheese. Alrighty, so I am preheating my oven to 375. I have an 8x8 pan here that I sprayed with some vegetable oil. And when I make meatloaf, I do wear gloves. This is probably the only time I wear gloves when I am cooking, because I do not like all the yuck that gets on my hands when I'm mixing meatloaf. So, oh, I just put a hole in it. My hands are a little bit wet, that's why I'm struggling. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and mix this up really, really well. Oh, am I getting it on me already? Smells good already. And like I said, you can use breadcrumbs instead of cheese if you want. I just prefer cheese instead of breadcrumbs to cut back on carbs. You know, I'm using potatoes. And I can have a little bit of potatoes, like a cup of potatoes, with being a diabetic. But obviously I'm not eating this entire casserole by myself, so we don't have to worry too much. It's a little bit wet, so you definitely can add a little bit more breadcrumbs or cheese to it. But since I'm making a casserole, I'm not too concerned about that. But if you were making my meatloaf, that's what I would do. Alrighty, now we're going to bring our pan right over. We're going to put this in our pan. I'm just going to press it down, just like that. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go and throw this in the oven Like I said, it's preheating to 375, and I'm going to cook this for about 20 to 25 minutes before we put the top on it, the potatoes on it. And while this is cooking, we'll get our potatoes ready. So let's go ahead and take our gloves off and then put this in the oven. Alrighty, my oven's at 370, but we'll go ahead and put it in. And then I'll set my timer for 20 minutes and check it. Alrighty. Alright, my friends, so I have a tea kettle that I fill up, and I just put it on the thing and get it hot. And what I do is take my mashed potatoes, put them in a bowl, just dump the whole packet in a bowl, and then when my water is ready, I pour it in here. So while that's going, so I have 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter, that I'm putting in there. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and then once my water comes to a boil, we'll pour it in here a little bit at a time and get the potatoes mixed really well. And then at that point, we're going to add a little bit of cheese and a little bit of the scallions, mix it well. And then when our meat is ready, we'll top it and then top the potatoes. Alrighty, friends, my tea kettle is done. Now I'm just pouring a little bit in here. Like I said, you can use regular mashed potatoes, made mashed potatoes if you want. But I'm not going through all that. You can even use leftover mashed potatoes. Say you have like Thanksgiving, Easter or something, and you had a ham and you had mashed potatoes and you had a lot of potatoes left over. You can absolutely use those as well. Not an issue. And you see how I just do a little at a time and then stir, because in the past I'd done it and had way too much water in there. Alrighty. Alrighty, so I'm going to take half of my onion, my, what is it called? Spring onion, and put in there. Then I'm going to put a cup, I'll put my sour cream away. Goodness gracious. Hold on. No, I didn't. It was behind the camera. Alrighty, we're going to, alright, now I'm just going to add a nice tablespoon of sour cream. My sister, actually Nick, taught me the sour cream tip with mashed potatoes. I've never done that before, and she made them for Thanksgiving one year, and she added sour cream in her potatoes, and it's like, oh, that makes a world of difference, especially for this dish. Alright, can you see how rich and creamy that is? Look at this, friends. Oh, rich and creamy. Alrighty, now we have about 10 more minutes before our meatloaf is done. And then we're going to top it with this and then put some toppings on that. And then bake it in the oven again. So let's wait until it's done and then we'll go ahead and top it. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and take this out now. It's pretty much cooked at this point. Now, one of the things that I do, when you see it shrunk up and there's a lot of grease, I'll take a paper towel and just kind of soak some of that up, because I don't like all of that. I'll just go ahead and use my tongs and get up. You don't want to take everything up, but you want to get as much so it's not overwhelmingly. Just like that. Okay. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and take our mashed potatoes and put them right on top. rest of that out. These are so creamy, friends. Oh, you can make mashed potatoes just like this if you wanted to. They taste homemade, I'm telling you. Alrighty. Now let's go ahead and spread it out. The pan is hot, so you got to be careful. Just spread that out just like that. Ow, just hit my pinky. Alrighty, now we're going to take about a cup of cheese, sprinkle it on top. Like I said, you can use cheddar cheese if you want. I just use my Mexican blend for everything, honestly. That is the last of this package. I gotta get some more out of the freezer. Then we're going to take our leftover scallions and just put that right on top like that. And then we're going to take bacon bits, and you can cook bacon if you want and use bacon. I'm not going through all that. So I just sprinkled bacon bits on top, just like that. I don't need to use that whole packet. Oops, just threw some in the floor. A tiny bit left. Oh, don't want to use it all. Might as well just use it all instead of keeping that little bit. Okay, now we're going to put this back in the oven for about 20 more minutes, and then we'll take it out and let it cool and do a taste test. Alrighty, friends, 20 minutes is up, and oh man, does this look delicious. Look, alrighty, we're gonna let this set for a little bit, and then we will do our taste test. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and cut us some out. Okay. Now the trick is getting this out in one, huh? Oh, it worked. There we go. Yum. Oh my goodness. Ugh, so delicious looking. Oh. Alrighty. Now alright, my friends, so here it is. Obviously, if you want it thicker, you can do 2 pounds of ground beef. Now let's go ahead and do a quick little taste test. It smells so delicious. Mmm. Oh man. Friends, absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. This is a must. Alright, my friends, so I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, hit that little subscribe button, as it does greatly help me out. And if you get a chance, check me out over on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and TikTok. I am very active on all those social media sites as well. So friends, thanks so much, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye.